let's begin then. So yesterday where we stopped was on the neutral feeling. Any questions still on the neutral feeling? No. All good. Now the question comes, what's the difference between the adukha asukha vedana and upekha? Upekha means equanimity and adukha asukha vedana, anyway you know it. What's the difference? Yes.
I think as per the sutta, the difference is with knowledge or without knowledge. But without knowledge, it becomes painful, and with knowledge, it becomes blissful.
What knowledge? What's the knowledge you need to have? Even yesterday, Bobby was talking about knowledge. Yes, what knowledge you should have. Have you ever asked what the knowledge I need to have?
I guess it's the observation of the feeling.
But yeah, let's say I observe the neutral feeling. Does that turn into upekha?
I guess of rising and passing.
That's right. Do you remember this, Aryu? Don't forget in your life. You cried on that day to drive the car and you got it, you felt blissful. Because you were in upekha. Okay. No, Bobby, anicca is the only thing, not dukkha and anatta and all that. There's a sutta for that. In fact. So the difference between the avijja and the vijja, the avijja here is you can't see arising and passing in everything. You understand? This is called walking. But if you are able to get this, just this much, then you're in bliss. This, or I'm stretching the hand. Anything I'm doing, any gestures, all that is arising and passing. There's no person. It's just an event happening. And if you can observe it completely, the arising, staying, cessation, upada titi bhanga, you picked it up. So now you know the udayangama or samudaya and attangama, the release of that. So now I start talking, I'm talking and talking and talking and talking like that. So the sound is coming and going, coming, going, coming, going. If you just keenly observe this coming and going of sound, you get into bliss. If you get into a person, it is avijja. And hence sankhara happens. Dependent on the avijja, the sankhara happens. Avijja, paccaya, sankhara. And because there is avijja, paccaya, sankhara, sankhara means choices. So because you choose to do something, or there is you, I, coming into picture, the vijnana takes over. The vijnana means there's a conscious experience of vilas through the eyes, through the ears, through the nose, through the tongue, through the body, and through the mind. Sankhara Pachya Vijnana, Vijnana Pachya Nama Rupa. Now you will have to give two things as food, one Nama and one Rupa. So this body is called Vilas, and it has a feeling, it has a perception, okay, and it has an intention. It intends to do something. This is Sankhara. And it makes up its mind. I will do this, Manasikara, because of the contact, Phassa. So this 5 plus 4 of Dhatu coming together. So Salayatana, then Namarupa Pachaya Salayatana. So then that this Namarupa starts to flow in the 6 senses. So now the senses keep vilas. Okay. And when there is senses and the sense contact, there should be some contact. So the contact is phassa. And then the vedana, feeling. So I feel I am vilas. I feel I'm the father. I feel I'm the brother. I feel I'm the friend. I feel I'm the enemy of so and so. Or he's my enemy. I feel he's my friend. She's my wife, etc. etc. Okay. Vedana pachet tanha. Craving comes when there is a pleasurable feeling received from whatever nama rupa has been identified. So I feel very compelled to keep on extracting the juice from every object in search of happiness. Okay? And crave to eliminate those which comes against my happiness. So I would say you are destroying my happiness. You are eliminating my happiness because that person or that thing is breaking it. So now, because of that craving, there is upada, holding on to that. Because let's take an example. My wife Anjana, she's very good, and many people who have come to my home, they feel so connected with her. And those people who have not yet come to my home, they will see whenever they see. So they get connected. Now, don't I feel proud about it that I have a nice wife? Something great to have. Now, that is upadana. Because it's giving me pleasurable. It's not even giving me pleasurable. Whoever I come to my home, I felt a pleasurable thing. So isn't that good? It's good. But it's clinging. Now that clinging creates power. It's become. You want to become what? Whatever thing. Becoming. Then comes jati, jara, marana, soka, parideva, dukkha, domana, supayasa, sambhava. So if I know this consciousness is just doing this everywhere, whether it's animal or a bird or an insect or human or a deva or a brahma or a pajapati or a mara or a bhasa or this, that, all of that is this consciousness only doing this. like a magician. Will I get into illusionment? No. So avidya yatveva sesa viraga nirodho, avidya nirodho, sankhara nirodho. So now there is no intention to do this or to do that, and ends the suffering. So the upekha, whenever we say upekha, 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 it doesn't mean you have to watch the neutral feeling. It means that you see the anicca nature in the neutral feeling. Bobby, by any chance, have you heard about this sutta where Buddha teaches how to watch the neutral feeling?
No, Lassi, I can't remember.
Dattabha Sutta.
Dattabba, DA.
DADATT, Dattabha Sutta.
Is it known by another name also? No.
SN 48.8 and SN 36.5, EN 5.1. But the three of them, let me check which of the one is correct one and I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm just checking. Hold on. Yes, 36.5. All of these fantastic suttas are there in only Sanyukta Nikaya. Please remember. If you want to have clarity on Dhamma, it is Sanyukta Nikaya. Any questions? You understood? So, not knowing the neutral feeling is avidya, but neutral feeling per se knowing it doesn't make it vidya. You got the point? So even in Goenka tradition, Goenka made sure that when the body sensations are coming, you have to see the anicca nature in that. Otherwise, it doesn't make any difference. But what Buddha is talking and what Goenka ji is talking is two different things of the same thing, but in a different way. A Putujana who has come for a retreat cannot penetrate into Dhamma. Dhamma means the nature. So what do? Body has a very strong nature. Kaika Vedana. Okay, there are two Vedanas, Kaika Chetasika. Goenka doesn't much concentrate on Chetasika Vedana. It follows through Kaika Vedana because it is easily understandable. Okay? For those Putujana who come to the Dhamma for the first time, they have no clarity. They don't know what it is. And you have to make a sale, meaning you have to make him understand what's happening on the nature. The nature, whether it's body or mind, is to arise and pass away. So what Goenka or U Ba Khin, Ledi Sayadaw did, actually Ledi Sayadaw did it, is to make sure a lay follower can benefit as much as a recluse. or a monk. So he created a program in such a way that a lay person who is completely absorbed in a family relationship should be able to penetrate the Dhamma of arising and passing. And where does he do that? He does that on body. If he has to watch the body, he has to sit in a particular place to watch the body. Otherwise, if he keeps on moving here, there, going there, how can he watch his body? It's not possible. So, what they came up with is a brilliant plan to make sure that people put in 30 days to understand what is happening in the body. So, the retreat is for 30 days, not for 10 days. Even Goenka says it was never meant for 10 days. They had to make it 10 days because people were having difficulty of doing for 30 days. So they created a 10 day, a 20 day, and a 30 days. But actually, initially, it was for 30 days. As the original thing is 30 days. In Burma, it is 30 days, no less. Nothing like 10-day retreat. Why? Because you require 10 days for samatha and 20 days for vipassana, and hence 30 days. In a 10-day retreat, 3.5 days for samatha and 6.5 days for vipassana. It is okay. And for a 20-day course, it's 7 and 14. Sorry. 7 and 13. 20 days. And 30 days is 10. Why 10 days you require? Because it takes so much time for somebody to watch the breath. Yeah, we require 50 days. Even when you're coming to my home, you will be getting little sweet nectar, that's it. Nothing more. So what we require, or what they came up with, is body sensation is easy. In fact, U Ba Khin says so. You can search on the net also. He says there are 6 senses, and then in our tradition, we have taken only body. You can get it through all, but we take the body. And people misunderstand that it's only body because that's the most easiest. And they think that's all what it is, which is fair. For a person who has entered today into Dhamma, he doesn't require to know all of this neutral feeling, this feeling, that feeling, and get thoroughly worked up with it. Rather, he just sits and understands the feeling coming on his body, or rather, sensation, not even feeling. It's beyond the feeling. It's just sensation. It's a itchy sensation, throbbing sensation, and any kind of sensation like sweat touching the body is a sensation. Heat sensation, cold sensation. It's not feeling. It's sensation. Now, what's the difference between feeling and a sensation? Are they not the same? No. Feeling has only 3 characteristics, and sensation can have many characteristics. What are the 3 characteristics of feeling? You feel good, you feel bad, you feel neutral. All 3. Whereas sensation, I can keep on saying this is heat sensation, this is cold sensation, this is this sensation and that sensation. Now, what is a sensation? Whatever is touched on the skin is a sensation, because there is a reaction. Now, when I'm having dandruff, there is a itchy sensation because of dry skin. And that dry skin sensation need not be sukha, dukkha, adukha, sukha. Where it is explained? Kajjaniya Sutta. Rupati iti rupa. Rupati means affliction. So this whole body is afflicted. There's another sutta of the same thing. called Patala Sutta in the same Sanyukta Nikaya. Patala means abyss. Okay, so that's Sutta. Physical sensation, Buddha says, is Patala, abyss. Anything you get, itchy, heat, cold, this, that, pleasure, pain, whatever. He calls it by sukha and dukkha only. Physical sensation. Only two characters. There's nothing called as neutral category. There can't be anything called neutral. Like even Goenka says. In Hindi, he calls it murchita or unknown. You don't know the whole body is having a different sensation like atomic moments because it is physical. So when he explains bhanga, it's physical. It gets split out. So those people who have experienced bhanga in the Goenka technique knows what it is. It's not the mind is in bhanga, the body is bhanga. Okay. And that's it about that. Yes, Abhi.
My question is my understanding is the sensation comes first and then we have a feeling. But sometimes no. Is the
Feeling
feeling
come first. There is a air which is here is touching my skin. There's a feeling. You will feel good or bad or neutral. After it is felt, depending on the texture of the skin, there is a sensation. Try this out at your home. You have to be very observant. When the sun touches the skin, first comes sensation or first comes feeling. There's a feeling of the touch of the sun.
so that is not sensation?
That is not real sensation. The sensation is what happens after touches is the sensation.
But the feeling of pleasant or unpleasant comes after. So if the sun is falling in my back,
No. Let me take an example. Now this is heavy is a sensation or heavy is a feeling. If you ask me, I will use both of them interchangeably. I say I'm getting a heavy feeling, right? In our general words, we'll say this as feeling. But in the Buddha's language, this is not a feeling. You can't feel heavy. You're sensing it heavy. By
yes,
holding on this hand, it might make you dukkha because it is heavy.
it's pressure.
Pressure, yeah. So it's pulling you down. So you feel pain, which is dukkha vedana. But in the Goenkas or in the eyes of Lady Sayadaw, it's of a sensation, the sensation of heaviness, because this is loss. Feeling is more subtle to experience. So people can't get so subtle, heavy as a sensation. Is there a feeling called heavy?
Well, feeling is we are referring to pleasant or unpleasant. Right?
Exactly. So
So that
this
is in a way my perception, right? So if you
no
put the
no no
phone,
no 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 don't go that far. Feeling has got nothing to do with perception. First you feel what you feel.
yes,
You feel tired of holding this thing versus holding this. This is lighter. This is heavier. These two are sensation, heavy sensation, a light sensation and a heavy sensation. Now this sensation, since I can't observe it so neatly, I will say This heaviness is creating a pain, this lightness is creating pleasure, whereas it's the other way around. Initially, that itself is a feeling, then it is making you experience heavy and light. And since heaviness pulls down, there is an unpleasant feeling. Still, a feeling of unpleasantness, not a heaviness. There's no heaviness feeling, it's a sensation.
Yes.
Feeling is unpleasantness,
Yes.
right? So, if I am not too sharp, I will find feeling coming after sensation.
Right. So that is considering a situation. But I'm saying, imagine your eyes are closed. I mean, not you in particular, but I'm saying in general, somebody's eyes are closed and they have the phone on their hand, and somebody is able to feel, rather have the sensation of pressure. And after a few minutes, they don't like it anymore. Like, so it's not pleasant. And, the other person is saying, what is this? It's annoying.
In
It's
general, in general,
general.
a
Yes.
Puttujana, in
Yes.
general, a
Yes.
Puttujana to the level of an until he reaches anagami stage will have sensation first, followed by feeling.
Yes. Yes.
A person who has reached anagami and arhat can make out that this is a feeling and this is a sensation.
Same thing.
No, the feeling comes first and then the sensation. Here, the sensation is coming first, then the feeling.
No, so my question was, imagine if that person is now feeling pain, right? It's been 2 minutes sitting, holding this thing, and that person doesn't know what is in his hand. So he's saying, "Oh, I don't like it. You don't take it out from my hand." And somebody says, "Do you know what it is? It's a gift for you." And he said, "What? It's a bar of gold." And all of a sudden, they like the sensation that, oh, it's a bar of
That's a
gold.
mental. That is so
That's
manasa.
what I'm saying. That's
No,
the
no, no. We are not coming to the mind one. We are
okay,
only
okay,
restricting ourselves to the physical.
just the physical. Okay.
If you bring mind, it becomes so manasa, do manasa.
Uh,
It's not sukha dukkha. That's the reason I gave that sutta 48.8. Oh, sorry, 48.40 and 48.38. 3 becomes 5 and 5 becomes 3. The reason why I gave that is you need to know the game.
hmm.
Okay. And you hope you are still recording because now you are on no camera mode. You are on mute. Okay. 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 So basically, when I see Aryu, is that a feeling or a sensation? What do you think?
First is my eye sensation is observing, and then I feel something about what is my perceived perception about. Are you?
Simple. Don't have to get that worked up. Till you reach anagami, you are having sensation.
Yeah, that's what I said. My
Yeah,
sensation.
I got it.
Of,
I got
yeah.
it. So always sensation. And then whatever you feel out of it. If you feel good of Aryu, you'll say pleasant. If you feel bad about Aryu, you feel unpleasant. And you don't know who is Aryu, then it becomes neutral. Yes, Aryu, good.
So earlier, when you say sensation, I thought it's restricted to the bodily, but now you're moving to the eye, which make me slightly confused. I didn't know the eye can have a sensation also of
It has.
vilas.
It can. It can.
So You mean there's kaika in the eye, or?
No, there's some physical thing also, right? So we have to. That's the reason. Lady Sayadaw is very smart person. He didn't wanted to go into all of these details. It becomes very complicated. So he just restricted to the body and made it sensation. If you remove the sensation thing and make it feeling, in all the six senses, there's only feeling, no sensation. There's nothing called sensations. Sensation is a created one. The true thing, what you experience, is just a feeling, not sensation. Yes.
Earlier, when you were explaining, I think Abi was asking about perception. So I was thinking, or he asked that, I was thinking, is it sensation, feeling, and perception? You make out something from it. That's called sensation, is what you meant.
No, no, no. Based upon the feeling what you get. If I give in to what Abhi is saying on perception with sensation, it gives a wrong information. Why? If I'm feeling heat is a sensation, but it is doing what? It's making me feel comfortable or uncomfortable. If it is comfortable, I call it sukha. If it is uncomfortable, I call it dukkha or somanasa, domanasa. Let's say it's winter. It's minus 32 degrees Celsius. So there's a heater. Outside it is blaringly cold. Okay. Now, in the inside, there is a heater. Let's say I'm having a wall mounted heater and I put on that. What do you think it is? Is it a pleasurable feeling or a pleasant sensation or a pleasurable sensation or what it is? It gets so muddled up, right? Because of the word sensation. There is no thing in Pali called sensation.
So what is it?
I'm asking you, you're asking me back. Okay, anyway. So let's take the same example. I'm sitting in front of that heater. I get what? Heat against cold. So the body is reacting to the heat cold thing. So the body gets heated. So the cold reduces. That sensation. So Goenka or U Ba Khin or Lady Sayadaw using cold and heat sensation makes sense. What's the point? Because if I am heated, this means it's a summer and there's an air conditioner set to 22 degrees centigrade. It's outside is 40 degrees centigrade. I just come out from that scorching sun, which is a heat sensation. And I come into the cooler air, which is a cold sensation. The cold takes off the heat. So there is an anitya, impermanent nature of that sensation. Right? That's what you learn in Goenka technique. That as soon as you put on the fan or an air conditioner, you come inside the house. And when you go inside, the outside temperature is 45 degrees centigrade, let's say, and then you come into the house. you get 22 degrees centigrade, which is half the outside temperature, sweating profusely. Sweat is a sensation, you can sense it. Water dripping, you can sense it. You don't have to say what feeling it is, it's just sensation. Sweat as a sensation. That gets evaporated when you go inside and sit in that 22 degrees centigrade place. So after 5 minutes time, your whole armpit area, which was completely wet, dries out. The chest area, which was filled with sweat, dries out, and then the face dries out. So it is anitya. I know nitya, it would have stayed like that, but now there's a change that you're feeling what now? You're feeling sukha. At that time, you're feeling dukkha. Right? If you really slowly see it, sensation is the front and the feeling is the back. If I'm following Goenka technique. Ultimately, I'm getting into the feeling, but more on the sensation. Throbbing sensation, heat sensation, sweating sensation, itching sensation. But itching per se creates unpleasant feeling, not pleasant. If it is not itching, it is neutral. If it is itching, it is unpleasant. If I'm feeling light in the body is becoming light, it becomes pleasant. If it's becoming heavy, it becomes unpleasant. Like I eat a lot, becomes heavy, it's unpleasant. Eaten less, pleasant. Right? So what Goenka did is to make sure people understand the sensation, because that's more gross than the feeling, which is very subtle. You need to have a crystal clear mind to make the distinction. Wait a sec, this is pleasant, it's coming due to this. So that is anicca. That you do it, you don't require Goenka technique. I'm not saying Goenka is wrong. Goenka is perfectly right. It's perfectly good. It's for those people who cannot discern. It's a good one. Yes, Abhi.
I don't know if I'm distracting with this question, but in my perception, it's if that experience is pleasant or unpleasant depends on the person's previous experience. For example, in a warm country like in India, people crave to be in air conditioning, cooler weather. If outside it's cloudy, then say it's a pleasant weather. That's the definition of pleasant weather. But if you go to a country, say in Europe, when outside it's cloudy and it's not hot, then it's unpleasant because it's always cold. And so when it's bright and sunny and warm, people like to take off their clothes, go to heat. So it seems like the pleasantness or the unpleasantness comes when it's coming back to some neutrality in the body, like which so usually the body is conditioned to a default. Like for example, when I moved back to India, I was always wanting to go outside in the heat, the sun, because I was very severely sun deprived. And most people around me would say, "Why are you going out in the sun? Like something wrong with you." But I was experiencing pleasantness. So it also depends partially. Like I'm talking about the mental phenomena, like my previous experience of what it has been exposed to and its conditioning. But
So
what
I
you
think
said,
so. I think so, Abhi. I think everybody requires to know how many feelings are there. There are only two feelings: bodily and mental. What we are talking right now is more on physical. What you're talking is more about experience, which is mental. Like a person in Europe or in Canada or in United States or wherever it is, or in Australia, or anyone from the West, generally are prone to cold conditions. So when they see heat, they love it. They say, wow, summer is down the corner, so let's go and enjoy. Oh man, this is great. And you ask a Asian, he's always on the sun. He loves cold. That is a personal preference because of the mental condition, not of the physical condition. Yes, Aryu.
Yeah, I was thinking about this too. I mean, even putting apart the country or personal preference, even for the same person as me, if I stay in the AC room for a long time and I'm freezing, if I come out, I feel sukha. And if I'm in scorching heat, if I come into AC room, I feel sukha as well. But my
Yes,
understanding is that because I stay in an imbalanced spot for longer, the dukkha start to build. So when I go to the
yes,
opposite, it reduces the dukkha, hence the sukha. That's my
yes,
understanding.
yes. So we need to understand one thing: physical is one and mental is another. Okay. So Buddha says for physical, do whatever is required to make it comfortable, but don't suffer mentally. Let's say you are in a cold place, you find warmth much appealing to the body, do that. Or if you're having your body getting into fever or some other disease condition, it's called dis-ease. You're not at ease. The body is not in ease. It's hence called disease. So you take care of whatever is required to take care. But don't suffer mentally. In fact, there's a sutta. He says the Arya Savakas, the Aryas, when they are tortured in the body, they feel only torture in the body. They don't beat their breast and cry out loud when afflicted by physical. They will endure that, but they don't suffer mentally. Ketasika dukkha is not there. But whatever needs to be done on kaya, you need to do it. Just like you have to relieve yourself of feces and urine, you should do that. What's there in that? If a woman is there and she's menstruating and she has to do what she has to do, it's physical pain, physical discomfort for a woman or for a girl. Menopause is again a painful thing. So she has to endure the physical pain. Can be pregnancy, can be puberty, can be adolescence, can be whatever. For a man, for a male and a female, they have to endure it. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It is physical. And Goenka's method of helping or assisting the person to endure is the right thing. Because you're not reacting to it. Because by itself it will go away. If you change the condition, it goes away. So what Buddha says, if you're feeling pain in the leg, stretch it, relax. That's it over. You don't have to add pain to that. Because body itself is a patala, which means abyss. Wait a second, Abhi. Aryu has raised his hand. Let me finish with him. Yes.
I think if Abhi's question is I think if
You're
Abhi's
on mute.
question is exactly on the topic, my question is slightly off topic. So maybe Abhi can ask if his question is relating to this one.
My experience, and correct me if I'm wrong, my experience, not at the same time, but over a period of time, about the point where observing something and seeing it arise and pass away. So being in the observing mind, in other words, in Mahasi tradition, they call it the noting mind. So the observer, when it's very strong, the arising and passing first starts happening, that you see it's arising and passing away. And then what Goenka wants us to observe is to see it arising and passing away. But in my experience, to even get to that point where it's actually arising and passing away and then nothing new is getting formed, it requires a lot of concentration to get to that point. I just cannot sit and just, on the contrary, when I just sit and, in the beginning, somebody goes to a 10-day retreat, say on day 3 or day 4, they're doing the first time retreat, they're watching the pain. And this is what has happened to me in my experience. You sit and watch, and then the pain is happening. And if I have not reached that level where I can actually watch from a distance, if the distance is not sufficient, then I'm watching, but because I am now in the pain. My observation is within the pain. It's not gone away from the pain. And so in that moment, more pain is getting created. And generally, like, in 10 days, it's very difficult in my experience to get to that point where you're really strongly in the observer mind, in the observation space where it's arising and you can say it's passing away. And when I stay there longer, then that process becomes faster. And when that process keeps becoming faster, at some point, then it stops. I mean, the rising happens and then the momentum takes place and then it is over. But that is not what most people are experiencing. In my observation, most people are just sitting and observing pain. And actually, in reality, I have seen that when I go back sometimes, that, oh, even after 30 minutes, because my mind is not neutral, I'm increasing more, I'm creating more sankharas because I'm not equanimous. My mind has not reached that observer stage, which is a little bit further away. And so some people think, yes, I just sat for that much amount of time. In their head, there is some ego and pride, but in reality, they have not experienced that observer and has actually perhaps potentially increased more of aversion, thinking that I have seen arising and passing away. And I have not seen many people who actually have witnessed arising, passing, and cessation. But everybody thinks that that's what I've been doing for last decades, and somehow they're
Yes, so the quicker answer to that is you require a penetration of breath watching for more than 30 to 45 days.
mm,
That alone, no vipassana.
mm,
Okay. Then you start the body vipassana, which is what Goenka is talking about, and see what happens as an observer,
mm,
sakshi, as a witness. So then you'll see the karta bhava, doership is gone. There's nothing to be done. It's just a change of structure. So when the body is bent like this for a long period of time, there is heat, it gets generated, and it dries out the water and increases the air. So the space is removed, and hence there is an experience of pain in the body. Okay. Now, when I am holding, let's say I'm holding two bags like this, how much can I endure? No, it's how much you don't endure, how much the body can stay in this state. What you would really observe later is, as you start doing this, its endurance is automatic because it has muduta, kammanyata, which means it can be wielded in a way like this you do with steel or with gold or with any metal, because if you heat it up, it bends. You can bend it. So when you are doing exercises or the yogasanas, then you are making this body flexible. This body gets flexible means what? You can change the Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu combination the way you want it. So by not reacting to the body sensations, I'm using the word sensation by purpose, you are changing the chemical composition of the body. So the brain, instead of reacting to the pain, will now just accept that it will change by its own. So there is no receptors which bulge the nerve centers. So what happens? Endorphins get released. So physically, it seems you are able to withstand the pain. So what has happened is endorphins have got released. So dopamine kicks in as a reward chemical, saying that, wow, I'm able to withstand this pain. But actually, what has happened, endorphins have got released. Endorphin is a pain morphing hormone. So if I want a pain morphing hormone, I should be in a happy condition. That's the reason it's called happy hormones. So if I'm in a happy condition, the endorphin is by nature it'll get produced. So what it does is it will snub the pain. The nerve center is saying that messaging system back to the brain saying that something is wrong. Hey, something is wrong. Hey, something is wrong. Hey, something is wrong. So the brain now has to ask the muscles to relax. Now the nerve center is not, the nerves are not doing that. Just like you take a painkiller. What do you mean by painkiller? What really kills? It doesn't kill any pain. It snubs the pain. What do you mean by snubbing? It means it cuts off the receptor. So the pain receptor is supposed to know the pain. The sympathetic nervous system job is to fight and flight. So it goes against it through the parasympathetic nervous system, which is to digest and relax.
Rest and digest.
Rest and digest. So he gets into rest mode. So what happens? There's no pain. Amazing thing. 1 hour sitting was a pain for me. Now I can sit for 2 hours. Why? There is flexibility. That's it. There's nothing which has happened. So this way of seeing the Dhamma is physical, Kaya Vedana only. We have not come into Chittanupassana at all. It's just in Kaya. Got the point? The entire Goenka technique, whatever we are doing today, is only Kaya, which makes sense. And hence, if you go to hundreds of retreats, you'll do this much. You might become a master in sitting for meditation. You can sit for 12 hours because it's Kaya. Just look at this. Somebody is swimming. First day swimming, he's full of pain. Second day, he can't even lift his hand. Oh, man. But that trainer will say, come on, do it. Third day, it relaxes. Fourth day, he is able to do it. Same with gym. Same thing with jogging. Same thing with walking. Same thing with sprinting. Same thing with any physical activity. First day when you do it, it's pain. It's literal pain. But the second day and the third day and the 10th day and the 50th day and the 100th day and the 200th day, it's absolutely no pain. And you see the gym guys, they make muscles, they make the 6-pack or 8-pack or whatever it is called as, and then chest, and how much of effort they are doing. You think if the pain was permanent, can they ever do it? You don't have to go and sit in the Goenka class to understand this. You just have to see that if the pain was permanent, then no gymnasium, no yoga, no, or none of these would have been there. Because it is impermanent. You can build your body. And what Buddha talks is my Dhamma is on mind, not on physical.
When will you talk about the mind?
Yes, sir, you.
Yeah, I guess I have two sort of related questions because when you're talking neutral, I was thinking the example you gave about claw. Is it neutral only on the mind? Oh, sorry, only on the body or also on the mind or both? Um, Also, I was thinking because if I get an itching sensation, I can identify as itching that I thought perception had happened. I mean, some mental process is the dukkha is also on the mental level as well. So I was
Are you have come to the basic question. So let me answer in a very basic sense. The body, skin is an organ. It's the longest organ in the human body. If you didn't know this, when we say an organ, it has its own mechanisms, it has its own chemicals, it has its own receptors, it has its own things. So mentally, I can call it as itchy, but physically, I'm going to do something about it. At scratching is it creates heat, generates heat. It's still physical. It morphs that itchy with heat. So it seems as though the itchy sensation, I use the word sensation here, to go away, replaced by heat, which is still physical, is not mental. If you take pleasure from that itchiness, is mental. Hmm.
yeah I guess I'm confused because I thought this this intention to scratch is given by the mind. Say go scratch. Hence
Is
the
given by brain, not by mind. I just now said about all the things you need to know. It's not given by the mind. Mind has a different thing altogether. If I'm running, if I'm sprinting, if I am in a gymnasium, if I am working, if I am cutting wood, the pleasure what I get, even though the body is paining, is physical pain, but mental happiness.
yeah, but
Yes.
I thought the mind is in the all six senses. The perception is in the all the six
Let it
senses.
be. We are talking about the physics. Otherwise, my dear friend, there is no need for for this Buddha to define how many feelings are there. Saying two feelings, kaika and chetasika. He could have said only one feeling as feeling and be done with it. And then when questioned, he didn't have to say there are three feelings. And then when questioned, he wouldn't have to say five feelings, then six feelings, then 18 feelings, then 36 feelings, then 108 feelings. Yes.
I guess I have basic doubts. So this chaku sajja vedana.
Don't bring chakku, sota, ghana, jiva, all that at this
Okay,
point in
okay. So
time.
in there's kaya, right?
Don't worry right now. First understand kaya, collection,
Okay, so
body.
kaya is the one that. So when we say kaya sampasacca vedana, this is what we're talking about. The kaya vedana is that. But I thought there's a perception and mental aspect of that as well.
Are you are a father. You had a wife. Your wife went into delivery. Did she have a physical pain or a physical perception of the pain? What did she have? It's a physical pain. I think you are also married. You were married, and you were seeing your wife menstruating. Was she not having pain, stomach ache, or some ache? And she would say, "I'm having a ache." Like you have a teeth, I have a teeth. There is a pain in the teeth. Is that mental, my dear friend? Yes.
The pain itself is not, but if I say this teeth is killing
Pain
me,
is a pain. Pain is a pain. If you go to Tina and show your teeth, and she does something with that teeth, immediately the pain disappears. And that's the end of that pain, right? In the case of mental, you can ruminate that pain. You can do many things with that pain. So we're not talking about mental as yet. Please stick with the physical. Yes, go ahead.
I guess in my experience, this perception of this pain is always there, along with this. For example, she's drilling in my nerves. I'm especially, sensitive to that because I feel, oh, it's touching my nerve, and then there's a mental image of my nerve being hurt, so that makes
No,
me,
you are adding it up.
yeah,
And that's the reason Buddha says two arrows. Salika Sutta. He
yes,
says
yes,
two arrows.
yes.
Physically, there's a pain. Now I'm saying there's no physical pain, there's only mental.
No, that's not what I'm saying, but I felt like even for itching,
What I'm saying
I've
is,
added
no,
it
no,
up.
I understand.
Usually I'm adding it up.
What I'm saying, not, I don't know why I'm getting Bobby all the time. What I'm saying, Ariu, is it's like this. I have to have an ability to see the physical pain as physical pain. Then there is a mental addition to that pain. If I don't have a mental agitation or discomfort to that pain, it would still remain as a pain of physical. Okay? What I need to do is just go to the doctor. Instead of that, I add more to it, just like what happened when I went last year when you were there. We went to the doctor, and the doctor said, your BP is high. That was created by the mental. The BP increase was created by the mental. The my TMT report, which had that variation, was physical. No, actually, that was also created by mental because of my worry of the leg, because I had not taken my kneecap, and I was worried whether it'll that joint will get stuck. So what happened? It's a combination of physical and mental. Buddha is not talking of that. That's the reason it's very, you need to have that a fine thread experience between physical and mental, because when there's a physical pain and pleasure, it turns into mental. Now, when you have mental pain and physical pain, mental pleasure and physical pleasure, you can't distinguish between which is physical, which is mental, and hence U Ba Khin slash Goenka and his side, they made it as sensation. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when Abi was explaining these people's experience in watching the knee pain. I felt it's everything mixed up, and then it's hard to see which part is physical, which part is mental. The reaction, was it against the physical or the reaction is against the mental? It's all very muddy, is what I feel like. Uh,
For that muddiness only, I am trying to explain in a most cutting it off and seeing, and then only you can come to upekha. Because it cuts off this intermixing. Otherwise, we can study about Upekha. And I might even take an examination on Upekha and might pass the exam in flying colors. Because for me, all suttas come, tuck, 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 I can write an exam. And I say, I have done master in Buddhism. Right? Mrutyunjay, it's better you speak rather than what you're typing out there, if you can.
Sir, physical pain actually happens only in the present. That is, in this point of time only we can experience. Whereas mental pain, we can just, as you told, we can enumerate and we can think of past and all that.
Anything that we call past, present, future is mental than physical. It's a mental concept. Physically, whatever you're feeling discomfort, you have two choices: endure it or reduce it. The Buddha says you can do both. You can reduce it, you can endure it. So that's the reason he says Gilan, medicine. Apply medicine. There are a lot of people who went to Buddha saying that I'm having this pain, what to do? He said, apply medicine. Huh? Should I apply medicine? Yes. Why not? Oh, I thought I should handle the pain. He said, no. Apply medicine. I go and stretch my back. Oh, thank you. Okay. So I'm having a chocolate. So is that physical or mental?
Chocolate is in the mind, but the sweetness.
No. It's sticking to the teeth, becoming watery. The pleasure what I'm getting out of eating chocolate or the pain I'm getting out of eating chocolate can be created in the mind as a mental feeling. So manasa, do manasa. For all of you, if there were only one feeling, there wouldn't have been 108 feeling at all.
Yeah, I'm also having a little doubt on this 108 because once he goes to, the six senses times by 3, like 18, he stopped making the distinction between Kaika and Cetasika. Seems all, combined.
It's not combined.
But it doesn't mean the Kaya cannot have Domanasa, Somanasa.
No way. Right, Buddha? Hey, idiot, how can you make it like this? I am better than you.
I'm trying to understand, not trying to question.
You should question. What is dukkha in physical?
Pain.
Discomfort. Physical discomfort is pain. Creates pain. Whatever you call pain is a change in the body structure which increases the heat always remember there is a beautiful English word to explain this. What you know that?
Inflammation.
Perfect. You think they were mad people to say inflammation? For everything they say inflamed. Flame means burning, a heat. Inflamed means it has increased because its heat has expanded, which means the air has taken up the space. So when you say arthritis, what really is happening? The space between these two, if it is there, it can bend. And the oiling is there, so it just makes things easier. If the oil is removed, it now starts to touch each other. Hmm. Between these channels are the nerves. So the nerves are getting pressed. Oh, you think it's mental? No, he's physically feeling it. If somebody, some doctor says, you're making it up, the guy will slap him. Or take an example of a pregnant woman who is getting pain, delivery pains, and the doctor smiles, you're mentally making it up. What she will do? She will hit him. This terrible pain. Is that mental pain? So always remember, physical pain is physical pain. Physical pleasure is physical pleasure. Or physical comfort is physical comfort. Physical discomfort is physical discomfort. Irrespective what you do with the mind. Yes.
Yeah, I'm wondering how to explain this phenomena. Sometimes I eat some sweet. It's so sweet, it almost have a tingling, like it hurts the tongue a little bit. It's so sweet. It feels like it's hurting. Yet I'm getting pleasure.
Physical. It's physical, that's it.
Okay. But the taste, the pleasurable taste, that is physical as well.
Yes. Boss, do one thing. You just put anything in the tongue, it will start to taste. There's a consciousness of taste. That's it. What it has got to do with mental. What you do with that taste is mental. But there is a physical sensation, the word sensation of that object is sitting in your. Let's say something has got stuck in the teeth. Is that physical or mental? Do you mentally feel something is stuck there, or physically you feel that something is stuck there?
I guess.
Okay, let's cut this crap out. Think it over, because I think we are going nowhere with this. You're just going in. I think the airplane is not able to make a landing. It's just keeping a circling around for last 10-15 minutes on physical mental. That means you don't even have a basic idea of what is physical and what is mental. So I think tomorrow we have to take up what is physical, pure physical, and what is mental. I think that itself is a question mark now. I don't know. Everybody has this question. Only Aryu has this question. I don't know.
Yeah, just the last thing. It's not a question. I guess I'm always confused because I thought when I eat something, whether I feel it's tasty or not tasty, there's always the mental participation in making
Aryu,
that.
have you taken bath today? Have you taken bath today? Yes or no?
No.
No. Will you be taking bath today before sleeping? Yes. Heat up the water so much and pour it on your hand. And tell me tomorrow morning if there is a burn, whether it was physically burning or was it mentally burning for you. No. What do you mean? You see, if you are in a cold place, that burning turns itself into physical enjoyment. Right?
Yeah, because
But
there's
it's
a
burn.
relief of the coldness.
So if you take physical as physical, irrespective of it, it burns, it becomes red. Like that, don't put the water on your hand and really do it. I'm just giving you an example. So keep illustration as illustration, and don't try it out tonight, and then say, oh, Villa said me to put water on this hot water and see. Yes.
I guess the question I want to answer tomorrow probably is that when I used to eat yogurt at your home, I didn't like it because I'm not used to yogurt with salt, so it was painful for me. But now I've eaten so much, it feels very nice and I like it. So I want to see what changed. Is it the
It's a
physical?
physical.
Physical has
It's a
changed.
physical. It's a physical. So let's say I'm not used to eating cereals for breakfast with milk. So I come to United States, and then no longer I can get idli and vada and dosa and all that. Let's say the place where I'm staying doesn't have it. Okay. Now I need to make good with whatever served. It's continental breakfast. So let's say, what do? I have some cereals and some Kellogg's cereals with milk and some fruits. First day, why? The tongue has not got anything to taste like that. Second day, 10th day, 50th day, 100th day, 500th day, 1000 days. It becomes a normal thing because physically you can wield that is there in Patavi Apo Tejo Vayu. So it does it. Right? And that's the reason people can go to gym, my dear friend. Otherwise, they can't go to gym.
Yeah, I guess I always thought it's my mentality towards it changed. Hence, my feeling toward it changed. But
You can add the mind, you can add the mentality to feel pleasurable out of that pain.
Okay, yeah. But this yogurt, I used to not like it. Now liking it is primarily physical, is what you're saying.
Yes, but you have started liking it in the mind as
Also,
well. But now it's giving you a pleasure. There's a mental pleasure as well as physical pleasure. If you were to cut the mental pleasure, you might not eat so much of yogurt because there's mentally enjoying it. You might have more pleasure, more yogurt on your plate or whatever it is, because you started liking. Just like I used to eat only one idli, let's say, and then I never eaten idli in my life, and then I'm eating one, and then the two, and then the three, and then the four, and then the five, is because I'm enjoying mentally as well as much as physical. Physically, I'm filled up, so I can end it, but mentally, I love it. So I eat one, few more idlis more. That's greed in the mind. Yes.
last question. This process you're saying, I liking this both in the physical and the mind. Is it on the tongue sense door or both the tongue and the body sense door?
All sense doors. Mind is in all the six senses. But the initial, what Buddha is talking, is only physical. Physical eye, physical ear, physical nose, physical tongue, physical body. There is nothing called physical mind. Agreed? You see, Girimananda Sutta, he gives 49 diseases. Right? Karna Rogo, ear disease. Is that mental? Mukha Rogo, face. Danta Rogo, teeth. Jivha Rogo, tongue. Is physical. If there is a boil on the tongue, can you eat? Just think. If you say, oh, it's a mental, stupid guy. There's esophagus cancer. Is that mental? What did Tina tell the other day, Are you? She's been diagnosed with what? She's coming closer to cancer, is what she said, right? She's worried in the mind, but is the body worried? So please make some room to see physical and mental are two different things.
Yeah, I can obviously understand the worrying and all that as mind, but I'm just, even in the senses, I thought the mind has very high participation in creating that feeling. Whatever.
No, no, if there is worry, which is dukkha, there should be something pleasure also, which is sukha. Like she doing mountaineering, climbing, and all that. While she was explaining while I was in San Francisco or in Los Altos, where we went, is physical climbing giving mental pleasure. But physical climbing is giving her physical pain. And hence, when we take a hot water bath after a trekking, you feel so relaxed in the body. Why? It is physical. It relaxes the muscles. Heat will relax the muscles. So when you put hot water on your body, it relaxes. The muscles get relaxed. It's a physical thing. Muscles are not mental, it's physical. So the catch which has happened will get released. The muscles will release, and hence the nerves don't feel that heaviness. It's a physical. And hence it's called Kayika Vedana, not Chetasika. Go ahead.
I said it's the last question, but this kayaka vedana, is it in all the six senses? Oh, no, not the mind, not the mind.
You are taking it too far. I just now said eye,
Yeah.
physical ear, physical nose, physical tongue, and physical body. What else you want? And I said there's no physical mind. And again you come back to the same question.
The mind, I know, yeah. You stay calm. Okay.
I just said you're so shocked and surprised that there's nothing called physical eye. There's nothing called as physical ear. Come on.
Yeah, I guess in my mental model, even if I'm seeing outside of this body, I can still see. So I always think this is as non-physical, I guess.
Harry, if that was the case, I didn't require these glasses. And Lata is sitting opposite. She has more stronger glasses than my glass. Okay, anyway, we had to rush out.